With the unfortunate news that Aleksander Barkov underwent knee surgery this morning and could miss what looks to be the entire season, the NHL is going to hate what the Panthers are about to do. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews, as always. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. You guys need to stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Yep, the news is not good. We still do not have any word yet on the extent of the damage to Aleksander Barkov's knee. We do know that he underwent surgery this morning. Still waiting word from the Florida Panthers about how long he will be out for. Will it be some part of the season or will it be the whole season? And will he be placed on LTIR? But one of the silver linings in this, if he is out for the entire season, is what is Bill Zito going to do to potentially replace Aleksander Barkov? And I think all of you know where I'm going with this, with that intro video. And there's going to be more hypotheticals right now. But again, all of you out there can say, not realistic, not this, not that. Anything is possible with Bill Zito at the helm. He got Brad Marchand here. He got Seth Jones here. Anything is possible. No player in the NHL that might be on their last year of their contract or the second to last year of their contract with whatever team is off the table to come here in a trade. So in the next few videos, I'm going to be talking about hypotheticals that could be potential candidates for a trade that could come here to the Florida Panthers and help them hopefully win their third consecutive Stanley Cup. There'll also be another episode where I will talk about unrestricted free agents that the Cats could look into and bring to the club and have them join this 18-man roster outside of the two goaltenders. I know it's 20, but still, they could get in there and help out and help these Cats get back on track. Yes, it's a big hole to fill, especially with three guys out, not one. Remember, we've got Tkachuk and Nosek as well. They are out. So the first thing that we're going to start with, and it's the easy one to go about, well, not really the easy one to talk about, but I want to show you guys the cap right now. So when we're looking at this, if you look at Barkov, Tkachuk, and Nosek, the dollar amounts that we are talking about here is 20 and one quarter, about $20.275 million that is technically alleviated, that they're allowed to go over the salary cap. The $10 million for Barkov, the $9.5 million for Tkachuk, and the $775,000 for Tomek Nosek. So that's $20,275,000 that the Cats technically have room with, but we have to subtract the $4.5 million they're already over the cap. So that's $775,000 that they have to work with right now. And this is the big name I'm going to start off with. And nobody can say, it's not possible. Anything is possible with Bill Zito at the helm. Everything's a very realistic thing considering this fact that this man has 2 more years left on a contract. Obviously, he still wants to win. The Penguins will entertain offers, I'm sure, for a trade. And coming to South Florida, he would love it, especially to play alongside his fellow hockey player, from Nova Scotia, Brad Marchand, that is on the Canadian national team. The same thing with Bennett, Reinhart. How many guys has he played with on the same team already that is on this Florida Panthers squad? It could be a beautiful fit. Come here for the next 2 years of your career and keep winning. Or the next year, and then maybe the Panthers have to trade him or find a way to make this work because they can take in his $8.7 million cap hit because, again, they have $15,775,000 to work with. That's not a bad person to look at because it's 5'11", 200 pounds. Yes, he's 38. I get it. But look at this. Every single year of his career, except for 2011 and 2012, has been dynamite. He's still putting up 90 points a season, 33 goals last year, 58 assists, 91 points. Yes, I know, minus 20 in the plus minus, but guess what? Team wasn't that good last year. Third worst in the Eastern Conference. He wants to win. Absolutely. He would love to come to a team and compete for a Stanley Cup championship in the latter part of his year. Heck, that's what Brad Marchand loves about being here. That's why he re-signed, knowing that in the latter part of his career, he still has an opportunity to be a part of a team that can win another Stanley Cup. Keep cementing his legacy. And yes, he comes with a championship pedigree. Yes, he's a born leader. Literally, he was born to play hockey. Sid the Kid, let's not forget. He's not a kid anymore, obviously, but plenty in the tank. If you look at his numbers, look at the TOI on there for last season. 20 minutes a game. The best part is he won't have to play 20 minutes a game. And you're going alongside Bennett, Verhaeghe, Reinhart. My goodness. There's so much talent on the squad. Obviously, Marchand, Lundell, Samoskevich, Lustrainen. I mean, they could really load up this roster. And if he's there, I would say this. The Caps took a hit in terms of being the favorites to win. Now I think they're the 7th best odds to win the Stanley Cup this year because of the Barkov injury. But if you add Sidney Crosby onto this roster, I can almost guarantee you they shoot right back up to the top of the standings for who is the favorite to win the Stanley Cup this year. Those odds will go through the roof. And it's a very real possibility. Like I said, yes, they'll have to trade for him. Okay, you give up some draft picks or maybe some young talent. You'll probably have to give up Erod. I hate to say it, guys. We probably will. I have to give up someone else. But it's a real possibility. Yes, there's a no trade clause except for he has the say in where he can go. Do you think he'd want to come to the Panthers organization? Especially if he reaches out to Brad Marchand. I would say it's a win-win. Bill Zito, I pretty much would say he's probably already thinking this. The wheels are already turning in his head about, all right, how are we going to replace one of the anchors of this team, one of the most solid players we have, the best center that we have on the team, obviously, best two-way player on the squad, Selke Award winner, captain, leader, bringing another guy, same mindset, same drive. Yes, he's 38. That's the biggest difference. But plenty in the tank if you look at these numbers, guys. And again, we're looking at the numbers here. $15.775 million are left to spend with the $4.5 million that they're over right now. Yes, they're going to have to give up some guys, of course. There are guys on this roster, I believe, that Bill Zito will find a way to give in a trade to the Pittsburgh Penguins, because if this could happen, the money is there for the season. Next year, it's harder with Barkov coming back, but the salary cap does come up. I've already said this in the past. It could work at $8.7 million. I said they can have that one guy they could bring in next season that could be a big-time stud. This could be it. And then salary cap goes up again the following season. So they could essentially keep Sidney Crosby till he retires, which I don't think he's going to stay, here if he does come. He'll want to go back to Pittsburgh and probably play his last year there and retire a Pittsburgh Penguin. But he could play this season and next season, win Stanley Cups, and see what happens. It's an entertaining idea. It's a very real one, guys. No matter who you are, I don't care. Get out of here with it. Brad Marchand came here. They traded for him and made it work. Sidney Crosby is aging. Yes, his numbers are still great. But with age comes possibility of being injury prone. And one of the reasons why I think this injury happened to Barkov is because of all the games they have played. Same thing with Tkachuk. These guys have had so much hockey that they played in the last 3 seasons. I think that's the reason why their injuries are happening. So cross our fingers, nothing else does. But I think this is a very real idea. It's an entertaining one to think about, guys. Don't wipe it off the table so quickly. He wants to go somewhere and keep winning. The Pittsburgh Penguins are entertaining offers. He's keeping an open mind about things. I mean, he's been vocal, but not like, I want to be out of here. No, but he's willing to play somewhere else for a winning organization. And guess what? This door just opened way up for him to come here. So don't be surprised if you hear something about Sidney Crosby coming here. The rumors will swirl, as it will for other players, which I will talk about in my next episodes that will be coming up. But guys, don't wipe this off the table. Bill Zito has something up his sleeve. I can already tell you he's probably working with his front office staff, trying to say, all right, guys, what are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? Not fix this, but how are we going to replace one of the best players on our squad? So guys, stay tuned for more episodes. I will have another one coming up maybe later today if we hear about the extent of the injury to Aleksander Barkov's knee, how long he will be out. If LTIR is the thing that will happen here, even if he's not an LTIR, there is still the potential to land a big name player, even if he is able to come back a little bit later in the season. There's a $3.8 million that they alleviate in cap space, but still, if he's an LTIR, that opens up the door for such grand possibilities for other players to trade for. So guys, keep your eyes peeled and go Cats.